All right, ready?
Yes,
What's
sir.
up, everybody? This is the Misguided Podcast. We intend to guide you to a better future. My name is Juwan. I'm sitting here with Jenkins of Realty Prep Network. How you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm living. I'm doing good. I slept pretty good. Just busy. I got open house today, so
Okay.
today today I'll just be chilling, in the house doing nothing. Yesterday I had open house and like one person came.
Hey, that's how it goes sometimes. That's all it takes, though. That one person. You never
Nah,
know.
it's because everyone's partying on Saturday, so Sundays are a little bit better. But
How's the weather out there for y'all yesterday?
uh, yesterday was like in certain places it's very hot and humid. But like in the main Bay Area, like Berkeley and Oakland, it was very overcast, but it was humid, so it was hot,
Okay.
but it was
That's
ugly. Yeah.
we can relate to that. We had a little bit of that in here in Ohio, so for sure the humidity was on 10
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, the humidity everywhere is just global warming for us. That's payback.
It's definitely real.
Facts. Well, I appreciate you coming up here today. Today we got a fun episode that we're gonna kind of switch it up on people, and we're gonna give like two opposing views on credit cards specifically. And it's been decades since people say whether credit cards are good or bad for you, right? You have Dave Ramsey versus Robert Kiyosaki. Those are the two that really stick out to me. But so today we're gonna kind of give pros and cons of why people like credit cards and why people don't.
For
um
sure.
and so I appreciate you coming up here and doing this with me. Do you want to give a little background on yourself? Where are you from? How'd you get interested into financial literacy?
No doubt. No, first off, I gotta say I appreciate you having me on the Misguided Podcast. I've been watching your way for a minute and have a good following and really promoting the knowledge. So
Thank
gotta
you.
appreciate you and thank you for that, man. So a little bit about me. I've been in the financial industry for about 5 years now. 4 years at one bank and transitioned the last two to be the personal banker. Um,
Ooh.
so so through that, I've gained, I guess, banking financial knowledge, but there are a lot more venues out there, and so I'm just on the current movement of trying to take the knowledge that I know and apply that to my own personal life, my own businesses to exit the corporate 9 to 5 is sooner rather than later. So
What's your goal for that? Like what as far as timeline?
real estate. I want to get into the real estate game. I've been doing collaboration through the Realty Prep Network, and I had a small group of guys now. We're forming a management company. So hopefully here in the next 6 months or so, we'll be able to make a good investment to start the wave.
What are you trying to so what do you what okay, so you're trying to get into real estate, but how? Like you said, you had a group of guys who are forming a management company. So are you trying to do property management? Are you trying to invest in your own property and
So
manage that? Oh,
the
okay.
second one,
This,
no doubt.
oh,
So we're
okay,
trying
okay.
to do just through collaboration, trying to pull. All of us have different ventures, but we all, some way or another, feel like real estate's the end goal. So we're just trying to pull together our sources and invest in that first property, and then everyone kind of eat from there, and hopefully start a whole property management company. But right now, just trying to organize things through the collaboration.
Bro, that's amazing, man. That I love that. And especially like, have you heard of that? The black family with like 19 black people out in, I think it was like Atlanta, that bought like
I'm not.
fucking 100 acres of land. Did you hear about that?
I think so. With 19, I didn't know about the families part. That's what threw me off. I heard about a large land purchase, but 19 families?
Yeah, it was like 17 or 19. And I like reached out to them for an interview, but then I think we just forgot or something. But yeah, bro, it was like they bought like 100 acres. It might have not been Atlanta, but it was definitely somewhere out down south a little bit.
Gotcha. Now
Um,
that's major. The land
yeah.
is property is the way.
And they're like building on it and everything. It's pretty lit. But no, yeah, man, I really respect that because um I've been trying to find like that crew, right? That is just willing to like do that, right? And it's hard because not everyone has the same like go get it attitude, you know?
For sure.
Or like you get people who are like, oh yeah, let's do that. That sounds dope. and then don't talk about it for like 6 months, and you're like,
tomorrow it's gone. Tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like I'm dead serious about this, because like I think that's the way to do it. Is you like partnerships, you'll get there faster, right? It's like one of my favorite quotes that has recently grown on me a lot, is that like if you go alone, you'll get there faster. If you go together, you'll go further, right? Something like that.
I've heard that one.
It's an African proverb. So like I really like it, and I think it's just 100% facts. Like, so I'm trying to find people who are willing to do the same thing, and
no, definitely, man. I appreciate that, and that quote, that's right on. I really feel like, yeah, because it's hard to start off and take on the whole venture by yourself. As I know, there's so many different business ideas out there, but if you can, break it down and have a core team that have those same core values, I feel like it's a lot less scary to take that leap, or at least take that, that mini jump before that full leap, when you have a team that's all kind of on the same mindset. And we have people out. My social media manager, dude, shout out to Steve, Visions Black, and Empath Marketing. He's actually up in New York, and so he's actually kind of what inspired the vision towards like building the team. And so yeah, we have people all over the country, man.
That's dope, man. That is dope, and that's a blessing too as well. And I think, and that's kind of like what I'm trying to do, is build a network out here for the Misguided Podcast, and have people all over the world, not just the US.
Exactly.
But yeah, just connecting, because international people, there's entrepreneurs in India and all that, and they travel here freaking monthly, you know what I mean? And they can provide a lot of value and knowledge. So yeah, nah, I respect it. Cool. So you got into this financial literacy. Let me ask you a question of like, where do parents in general fail in teaching financial literacy? Because like, as of like coming up to 2021, financial literacy to kids wasn't really a thing, right? Now, I mean, the pandemic hit, and now parents are like, oh, I got to teach my kids this. I got to, Black entrepreneurship, all that, right? So where do you think has been the mishaps in our past generations of why we weren't taught this stuff early on?
And we're speaking as in our community, right?
Every community, Black, white, Irish, yeah.
I honestly feel like, unless it's really, that's a tough question. That is a tough question.
I ask tough questions. That's what I do.
Hey, no, I respect it. No small talk. So I think it honestly goes back to what we touched on a little bit earlier, on unless you happen to be from a household, or have close contact, or happen to be surrounded, or by someone that is in the entrepreneur life, it's difficult for someone who's not in it or touched by it to truly open up someone's eyes to that lifestyle, if that makes sense. Because in my opinion, it's just a whole different mindset. And I feel like, for me personally, I've run into the situation where, because the entrepreneur route is so foreign to my parents, that it's almost, I don't want to say a waste of energy, but it's just like there's a serious disconnect there. And so when it comes to financial literacy, I feel like it starts there, and kind of taking, your financial, portfolio in your own hands. And it kind of starts from that idea that there's money out here to be made. You just have to kind of look at creative ways, or maybe not the generic 9-to-5 job ways to get it.
Yeah.
So education, and opening up to different perspectives, I would say, to sum it up.
It could be like a lack of education on our parents' part, right? And I say our parents as a general, like everyone in the world's parents.
For sure.
So like a lack, like they weren't taught it, so they don't know how to teach it, right?
Period. To say it simply.
Yeah, it could be as simple as that. And yeah, no, that is definitely something. And that's something that we need to work on as a whole, right? But I also think, okay, here's another hard one. Do you think schools should be held accountable for teaching this stuff?
I think schools should be held accountable for allowing the option for it to be taught.
Mm. Mm.
Because
I like that.
I'm not against. I hate the almost hate talk when it comes to the entrepreneur wave of like the hate of the 9 to 5, because
Oh, the
there's
LLC
honest.
Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you can't hate on that route. It's just a different route, and each to its own, in my opinion. And
Well,
so,
we can't survive. Businesses can't survive without the 9 to 5. You think about it. You create
exactly.
your own business and you're CEO. You need fucking 9 to 5 employees. Like you can't survive.
Thank you. Exactly.
So,
Thank you. So everyone can't be an entrepreneur.
nah.
Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. But I think to just not even open up those opportunities in school, when we know as a society this is real knowledge that needs to be learned at some point or another. I
Mhm.
think it's kind of almost an injustice not to offer that at the most important age, 17, 18, when you can start making your own financial decisions. So
Yeah.
I
Nah.
think, but then again, in the age of 2021, there's so much knowledge out here, and there's so many different avenues. They can only take so much responsibility, in my opinion, as a school, if you really want to learn it. Especially, even the last 10 years, we've seen the knowledge wave increase on financial literacy. It is out here to be learned.
Yep. Absolutely right. And I think like I want to separate the difference, right, between entrepreneurship and business. That is different than financial literacy. So when like it's schools should be able to teach financial literacy. Like
Agreed.
they fucking require the government requires us to do taxes every year, but yet they don't even teach us how to do it. So in my eyes, that should be a requirement. That should be a class.
For sure.
But business and entrepreneurship, that can be an option because, like you said, not everyone has that goal, not everyone has that drive or just that mindset, right? It's not for everyone, so that can be an option. So I want to separate the two because I don't want to think we're mixing it and putting it into
No,
one
that's
category.
That's a good point. That's honestly a good point. Yeah, because I have to agree with you there 100%. I do think there needs to be an increase in just a base knowledge when it comes to taxes, stocks, things that you face in the real world, 401ks, different things that
Or even like a simple class of reading
credits,
contracts,
facts,
right?
facts,
Just reading
the different
paperwork.
language, the language
Yes.
in these paperwork.
Yes.
Yes.
Because like they teach us the history books yet. I haven't read anything about history like yet. Like, but like the black history, at least I haven't heard anything. But like you have us read these textbooks, right?
Yes.
And it has nothing to do with the real world. Like, why not put some contracts in front of us, some disclosures,
Yep.
something that we're gonna run into every fucking day, right?
Resume building, resume,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
there are tools that if school is supposed to, as they say, prepare us for the real world, in that aspect they are lacking because they're not doing a good job when it comes to that financial literacy
Facts.
subject.
Facts. Well, I'm about to create my own school, so
Hey, that's the move. Take back
cool.
the education.
Yeah, facts. Nah, cool. All right, I'm done. I'm done asking you serious questions. Let's
That's all good.
let's get less serious about and talk about credit. No, I'm just playing.
Had to get the juices flowing.
Yeah, right. Cool. So we're gonna start off talking about the pros and cons to credit cards, why you should have credit cards. And obviously we're only gonna touch on personal credit today. Let's stick to one. There's personal and business credit cards. I'm a huge fan of business credit cards.
For sure. A
Like
must.
it's like
Absolute
my it's
must.
like my favorite thing. But maybe if we have time we could get to it. Let's stick with personal credit cards. Pros of personal credit cards and why you should have them. They are great for credit building, right? In this world, you need credit. You need credit to sometimes even get an apartment. They sometimes are looking at your credit just to rent an apartment, right? So you can't even live somewhere without your credit being checked. Um, you need to apply for stuff, right? Credit is super important in the world, and so credit cards can help that. Another one is convenience. Much better than carrying cash around. It's much better than carrying a debit card around and wondering if you have enough money on it.
Yes, liability for sure.
Mm-hmm. And actually, another thing about that is theft protection.
For sure.
Credit cards usually offer like $0 liability guarantee. So like someone steals your credit card, you know, you're not liable if they run it up or anything, and you're not in trouble, because if someone steals your debit card and they run that shit up in your checking account, it is, you know, you got to go through a whole investigation, get that shit back. Like now you're out, you have zero money. But if they run your credit card up, at least you still have your debit card, right? And
exactly. And just to touch on that just a bit, just bank experience. People always, I know the elder generation kind of ask, how in the world do these hackers go out? How do they get your debit card number?
Yeah,
that is probably the easiest way to stop potential debit card fraud is using a credit card.
Yeah.
If you put your debit card out there, it just so happens the more times you know put it out there, the more likely it is to be seen. If you put your credit card, just like you said, it's not access to your direct personal funds. It's access to the bank's money, the bank's credit.
Exactly.
You're not liable, and it's not going to take out of your bills. It's just credit.
Yeah, exactly. And they're faster to give you the money back on a credit card sometimes.
Absolutely. So. They'll send you a card. They'll send you a credit card within the week. Debit card, you may have to wait a whole month.
Exactly, bro. I've had my debit card hacked so many times. I think I've only had my credit card hacked since I've been 18. One time, credit card.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah. So.
And they probably caught it like that too.
Oh, bro, they block it before it even like posts. So like this, of course they're gonna protect you on something that they're scamming you on, right? So
it's true.
But anyways, another one would be rewards. There's a lot of reward points, and you'll get into that, so I'll leave that for you. There's also a grace period, which I mean is like, you know, you swipe your card today. And then you have a billing cycle, and your bill isn't due until that end of the billing cycle, or else you owe interest. And obviously some cards have zero interest rates, and you'll get into that as well.
For sure.
But yeah, so grace period, that's really cool. You know, so let's say you need groceries immediately, but you don't get paid till Friday, and it's only Wednesday. Boom, credit card, pay it off Friday, right? It's just a short-term example. Another one is hotel and gas perks. I think a lot of hotels love credit cards. Hotels.
Oh, definitely.
Oh my God, that's like their best friend. And they require you to put a credit card down when you stay at the place, right? They don't take debit cards. And why do they do that? I would assume it's because if you damage the property, they know that they're going to get their money from that credit card, as opposed to if you give them their debit card and you take all your money out of that account, what are they going to charge to?
Exactly. So, you can keep zero in that account forever if you wanted to.
Exactly. Another one is car rental insurance. A lot of car rental places that are going out of business right now, they usually have like free insurance or they got free something if you use a credit card. Oh yeah. So always check with that. So those are the pros, and then obviously the cons. Is it's a smaller list, but it definitely holds more weight and density.
For sure. No, I feel you.
So it's overspending in debt. Obviously, that is like, people if you do not have the discipline, credit cards are not for you. Okay. No. You could really fuck up your life, in other words.
It can definitely get you in that trap that you have to tooth and nail your way out of.
Yeah, exactly. So there's high interest rates are usually like 18% to like 27, right? And so that's super high interest. Think of a normal, just a personal loan. You could take out a loan for like 10 G's and the interest rate be like 5% or less, right? So and you have a fixed payment. With credit cards, it's high interest, and you have a minimum payment due every month, not necessarily a fixed. Fees. Usually there's annual fees on some credit cards that offer the most perks and stuff like that. I saw a credit card the other day that The annual fee was $697.
That's wild. That's insane.
I said, yo, even if I'm rich, like, why am I paying this? Like, what?
Yeah, why am I gonna give you money
I
to
could just
give
get
me
the other
money?
cards. Yeah. Like,
Period.
what? It didn't even offer like that many benefits. I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. People are stupid. But anyways,
Definitely got to read that fine print.
Yeah. Oh my. Wow. That's perfect, dude. That leads me to the next one. Literally it says fine print in disclosures. Credit card disclosures are super hard to read and super confusing, which is like what we were talking about before. Schools need to have us practice this. So I think being able to read the fine print, know what you're signing up for, know the back end fees, know they might charge you, they might say, 0% interest rate for 18 months. And then in the fine print, it's like, and then 33% interest for, 3 months, 12% interest. And so like, you just got to read.
And even,
go ahead.
Just to tap into the fine print details, even going back to like the rewards points. So even like don't get caught up in the rewards points sometimes, promos. It may say 6% cash back on select categories. So, if it's saying, and I do have a card here that kind of goes over that, so that's why I wanted to touch in. If it's saying, 1 to 6% cash back, but it's only offering 6% on, streaming services, then is that really worth it? And then it's 1% on everything else. So definitely the fine print.
Yeah, definitely. Another and the last one for me is short-term credit hit. When you apply to credit cards and you get that short ding on your credit report, and I mean it's like 5 points, and it goes. It's not. It's a hit, but it ain't the biggest hit, right? It's not. It's so that's something to be aware of, but not necessarily be afraid of. And I guess we could talk about like a little bit on credit reporting and credit reports, but you are allowed free credit reports. You get one from each I don't know what they're called, credit bureaus. You get one from each. That's TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. You get one a year. I think right now though they still have it where you can pull as many times because of COVID. So you can just keep pulling. And I think, I don't know the website, but it's like freeannualcreditreport.com or something like that. And then on your credit reports, for those who don't know, it shows pretty much a history of your credit. Let's say you have a loan. It shows how long you've had that loan. Have you been late on a payment, which is like the number one rule, don't be late. So just set it up on auto pay to avoid that. And credit reports pretty much just show your credit in a more detailed look, which is different than a credit score. As credit score is just a score, tells you how good your credit report is doing over time. Two different things. And so, yeah. You want to touch on any of that?
Oh no, man, you hit all the points on that one.
Nice.
Definitely take advantage. I always suggest at least once a year. I think people should, take a full look at their credit report. People will be surprised what's on there, what just happens to pop on there randomly. Yeah. And that could be what's holding you back from taking that next move. Medical bills, it's weird stuff. It's really weird.
I had an old apartment. I had a couple years ago, I had a Comcast bill on there for like $200, and it was like delinquent. It was like the only thing in red. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I was in college. Like, I never received this. I never legit received the final due note, right?
No notification.
No notification. I was like, oh, I'm fighting this. I ended up fighting it and won in like 5 days. Like, it was super simple. Okay. Got it off my report and everything. So
I had one just last year. It was from an apartment that I had like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. I guess there was a balance of like $100. They couldn't contact the other parties. I was the only one that answered. It had hit delinquent status, and I had to pay that immediately because I didn't want that to further damage my credit report.
Isn't that crazy? How I think the Comcast bill was like $200 or $100, and isn't that crazy how $100 can really just fuck up your whole like?
And I answered the crazy part for me is I answered the first call. Like they said, like we couldn't reach. I'm like, you guys didn't try to give me a call, anything in mail. Like I haven't been hiding, but I guess it was more beneficial for them to get the late payment with the fee instead of trying to contact ASAP.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. But all All right, for sure. What you got for our best credit cards for
We got a
listeners?
definitely got a few to go over. Yeah, I'm not going to get too into detail, but just have like a top three. And I always like to say, as far as credit cards go across the board, there's going to be cards where, although it might not be the exact same, they're going to be similar. So I really try to pick three general cards that I feel like in some way, shape, or form, it'll kind of be able to explain different credit cards that are out there.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So let me get here to the screen. And I did I'm trying to stay away from credit cards that have an annual fee or, introduction fee, because there's so many credit cards out here that, in my opinion, you really don't need to pay for a credit card unless it's really, the perks are really that good, or you're really looking for something specific in that market.
Yeah, I agree.
But shoot, 1 second. My bad.
It's all good.
All right, we're getting right into it. So the first one I have on the list, well, actually, let me get into obviously the perks of the credit cards, kind of what you were going off of. We have the rewards points, or cashbacks. I feel like those are the two reasons, or travel points. The three main reasons people are going to be looking for credit cards, besides obviously building your credit. So with that being said, I wrote here on the key, the rewards points kind of systems. When you hear these percentages, what it actually means in dollar value.
Yep.
Because I feel like that's key. So again, credit cards, they're not the way, in my opinion, to gain financial success or to hit that next level, but they're a tool to be used. And if you know the fine print, you can get free money, point blank, period. And so if you save spare change, I feel like this is just as valuable, if not more valuable, to use these tools to get free money. So 1% cash back would be a penny back for every $10 you spend. Not a lot. Obviously, you want to get as high as possible, but just to give you kind of a ballpark in your head. 5% cash back would be $50 for every $1,000 you spend. So most cashbacks is going to be between 1 to 6%. So the first credit card I have on the list here is the Capital One Venture Card. So this is for people who are looking to, travel, take advantage of these low airline rates and see the world a little bit. Hopefully things don't get shut back down here. But Capital One, major bank, had decent reputation. They also offer pre-approval online. So again, like you were talking about, that short credit hit, not the long term.
Mm-hmm.
Usual credit acceptance is 690 to 850. So it isn't for someone looking to build their credit. Maybe someone, again, looking to travel, already established credit, and looking for a card just to do that.
Yeah.
Some of the perks on that: unlimited double points on all purchases, for travel points on all purchases for that one. Miles do not expire for the full life of the account. So let them keep on adding up if you're
That's
looking for
good, because sometimes they do on credit cards.
Yep,
That's really good.
looking to build up for that trip maybe a couple years down the line, this is a good card to have. And the miles transferred to over 15 travel loyalty programs. So you don't have to worry about, if you do see another card out there and you want to transfer the points that may be more beneficial to you, looks like they have quite a few options there. The sign-on bonus they do have is $600 if you spend $3K in purchases within the first 6 months, or 3 months, first 3 months, first 180 days. So $3K, you get a free $600. It just depends on how much you use your credit card, but that is a perk. The cons, obviously, $95 annual fee with that one. I did find out with most venture cards, for some reason, there is an annual fee. I think it's more because people looking for these cards are purely looking for the points and not so much the relationship with the credit card company. So they try to make you pay for it on the front end there.
Yep. I think a lot of the travel ones have like fees, like the ones who like are in partnership with someone. So for me, the Southwest card with Chase, right? There it's a partnership. There, that one has like a $69 annual fee, which I don't like, but it's the perks are a little bit good, and it was a good starter card. But
And there you
now
go.
I'm stuck with $69 every fucking year, and I don't even use that card no more.
That is a scam. As long as you have that card, you're gonna keep paying that. But like you said, pros and cons, just weighing it out for
Yeah.
whatever works best for your financial profile right now.
Yeah.
Next up, though, I had the Blue Cash Preferred card from American Express.
Okay. Yep. I
So,
like this one.
so I try to stay with ones that you may have heard about, and just trying to go a little bit more into detail because I feel like again these offer a lot of different things that a lot of different credit cards offer. So it's still in that 690 to 850 credit score range. So we will get into the credit cards for people looking to build their credit maybe on the lower end. This is that 690 to 850. 1% to 6% cash back categories vary. And I will go into the breakdown of those categories like I was talking about earlier. Some of the sign-on bonuses they have, 20% on Amazon purchases within 6 months. So that would be up to $200 if you spend. Oh wow, my bad, I misread that. 20% up, yeah, 20% up on purchases from Amazon for only 6 months, and you can only get up to $200 cash back. So if you use Amazon a lot, good perk for you. $150 cash if you spend 3K purchases within the first 6 months.
Okay.
The big one here, we're talking about that introduction interest rate, 0% for the first 12 months. So this is a good
Let's
card again.
go. I
Yes,
like that.
sir. And then 13.9% to 23.9% after that. So it doesn't jump you super high. It seems like they kind of leave room for where you're actually at credit wise when it comes after that 12 months.
13% is not bad.
Exactly. So it's like, it
Not
just
bad.
depends. I feel like it depends on where you're at financially or credit wise for them to assess that next value. But to the breakdown of the cash back, 6% cash back at US supermarkets. And so I did not write down their definition of supermarkets. I'll allow that to the people. But in my assumption, that would be things like maybe the Kroger's, Walmart's, Giant Eagles. I don't know, your major
Yeah.
lines there. 6% on back on streaming services. So not a lot there. I feel like that's kind of a false sale because streaming services can get expensive, but your Hulu's, your Netflix, your YouTube TV, your Spotify's, all those are considered streaming services. 3% at gas stations or transit,
That's
including
good.
Uber, Lyft, so all that's included, and taxis. They made sure to put that on there as well for certain people. But those are really the two that I wanted to go over in detail. And then here on the side, I wanted to go over, I guess, just a secured card, which I feel like I would always recommend if you have a relationship with your local bank or somewhere to get us. They probably offer a secured card. And so if you're already just looking to build your credit, start that relationship there, somewhere you may be looking to stay a while. That way they kind of see your credit building profile. In the future, they may be able to hook you up with a credit card.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Because
like even credit unions, man, build your relationship with your credit unions because they offer the best deals sometimes. And even if you have bad credit, they are willing to work with you. These smaller banks and stuff like that, and that are a part of the community are really really willing to work with their neighbors. You know what I mean? So.
and that is key. No, I'm actually glad you said that because along with the local banks building the relationship, if you are using tools like Experian or Credit Karma, I mean, I don't know. For me personally, I was a bit hesitant myself on actually investigating those credit cards and thinking they were legit, because they're online credit cards. But do not hesitate on just doing the research on those because they're actually at times a lot more likely to get approved because they're not a bank, a brick and mortar bank. And so they have wider ranges of, I guess, say freedom when it
Yeah.
comes to credit lending.
It's almost like the same with internet banks, right? Online banking, which is the new wave now. So the banks that don't
Exactly.
have a physical branch, they have less overhead, so they can offer more. They can offer
Period.
0% monthly fees, all that good stuff, right? So those are very attractive, and I mean, I love two of the online banks that I really love and signed up for are Ally Bank and Varo. Love both of
Okay.
those. So Yeah, so it's kind of like the same thing. Credit unions, they have more to offer and are willing to work with you. Yeah, that's definitely what let's see, what credit cards are what credit cards are like good ones for like starters? Like
Gotcha.
if you have
So
like, yeah, someone who's wanting to jump in the game and they keep seeing ads on the Apple credit card, right? Should they go for that one? Like,
So, in my opinion, I would not. I would go if you're looking to build your credit or it's already kind of in a poor status. I would kind of go the secured card route.
okay,
It's not preferred just because you do have to put money up front, but it's a guarantee. And so
yeah,
that's why I said if you're going there, if you already have a bank and they see you're trying to build your credit, they may offer you something a little bit sooner in the future. So how I have here, I actually have this Discover secured card pulled up, and most secured cards work the same. And how they're going to work is you lock away a certain amount of money, usually $200 to $300. And when I say lock away, I feel like this is where a lot of people get confused on the secured card. You have $200 cash, say, that you put in an account, and that is now your credit limit. So you don't get to use that $200 to spend. People have come in and said, well, I've had $200. It's like, no, you spent $200 in credit, and now you owe that much on top, interest on the whole card.
wait,
So
wait. That is good. This is my first time hearing about it. So you're the bank. I'm
yep.
the customer. I give you,
and that's where people get trapped up. Yeah.
$200.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, okay, great. You've spent $200 to build your credit. Now you owe interest on this $200.
If you when you spend within that $200 limit in the month.
Oh, damn.
And that's why people, because you literally are paying to get a credit card. So unless you are in, that dire of a status to build up your credit, try to stay away from the security card. It's just pointless. Like there's too many
that can be super hard for people who already are having bad credit because they aren't disciplined enough, right? Or knowledgeable enough.
Exactly. And that's where the bank, that's kind of the scheme.
Yeah.
That's the scam. Like they're like, oh yeah, what's a guaranteed credit card? But if you still don't know how to use a credit card, you're still going to get in the credit trap. It's just going to be with $300 instead of a $2,000 limit.
Jesus, man, I hate these companies.
We definitely got to learn the rules of the game, but that's what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Well, shit. Any more on credit cards that we should touch up on? I feel like we touched on credit cards, credit report, credit scores,
credit building.
Don't fall for the scams of credit repair people. Sometimes they are not actual credit repair people. Sometimes they are. Reach out to the Misguided Network if you need some legit credit repair people.
Sure. Do you use Experian at all?
Not like no, not really. I just sign in when I get the free annual stuff.
Got you.
Yeah. Do you?
No, that's just it. I do use it myself. Not again. I'm not an accountant. This isn't formal financial advice or anything. I have to put that disclaimer in there. But I feel like Experian is definitely something to be researched. A decent tool to be researched if you're in the credit building game.
Okay.
It's only 10.
Go ahead.
It's $11 a month. It's a credit watching tool. So like you said, it's something I sign into actually every day. You can monitor all 3 credit reports if you want to, but for the basic package of $11, it connects with your bank account, Experian, and it looks at things that you pay on a monthly basis and reports it to Experian and is a credit building tool. So if you're paying it's different things that qualify, but phone bill, Netflix, they added that actually last year. Electric bill. Let's see here. I have to check my own here. Basically, if you pay bills on the regular monthly basis, it looks at that, and if it sees it on the regular, it'll report it to Experian for extra boost in your credit. Okay. And so when I initially signed up and I had been paying my Netflix and phone bill out of the same account, it boosted my Experian like 13 points. Again, it's not 100% solid, but I have seen improvements with it. So it's worth a shot for if you're paying for any other subscription that you're not using or don't necessarily need $11. I feel like it's worth the investment.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds a little bit better than Credit Karma. Credit Karma is always off like 20 points, 20, 40
Yeah,
points. So
experience a little bit more accurate
yeah.
from
It's
what.
probably off like 10, maybe
Yeah,
15. So that's good. Okay, cool. Well, those looking to build their credit or work on their credit, get a credit card or have been debating it, please make sure you check your discipline first and check your mindset, right? It's all in the mindset.
absolutely.
I've heard stories of, and I just heard this on a podcast, but this guy and his wife literally have like 40 credit cards. And they still keep it under like the 10% rule, right? And they haven't paid for their traveling like since, because what they would do is they just open a new credit card, use those perks that we talk about. Hey, spend $3,000, get $300 back, blah blah blah,
Yep.
or travel, all that stuff, right? And they just haven't paid for any of their trips because they are just gaming the system, and they're really good at their discipline. And so, and you know, they don't do this anymore, but back in the day, credit cards would like, you can reapply for the same credit card like a year or two after. So the same perks, like, you know, the $300 free, you could reapply again in 2 years. Now I think it's probably like 15 years, right? I don't know, but they got rid of
Damn,
that.
that
Yeah.
would be wild. I did not hear about that one, but I
So
could
they
see
used to
how
do that, which
you
is
could hack the
crazy.
system like that.
Facts. But yeah.
Yeah, they're tools to be used. If you know the name, if you know the game and the rules, then you can come up off it.
Facts. Okay. Cool. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming up here and helping me teach about credit cards. And we definitely got some more in the tool shed coming up next.
No
So
doubt.
appreciate you guys. Hey, where can they find you on social media?
Realty Prep Networks, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Come out, support the Ohio community. I'm looking to connect with people, all across the country. So tap in.
Yes, sir.
New York to Cali. Let's go.
For sure. Time zone to time zone.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you, Cal, for coming up here. You heard it here, guys. This is the Misguided Podcast. We intend to guide you to a better future. My name is Juwan. Again, I'm sitting here with Cal Jenkins. Make sure you like and subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you are watching it on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Peace.